life, but football's also a lot more than just big plays, wins, losses, and championships. Football teaches young people about dedication, sacrifice, teamwork, and overcoming adversity. So let's respect the game and get out and support your local school. All the good things you see happening at Ohio schools.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the OHSAA Radio Network.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, excuse me, right off the bat. There we go. Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here. We are live at Frickers in Centerville for the Sunday morning tailgate show. How about that? Week 1 of the NFL season. We'll talk Browns. We'll talk Bengals coming up here just around the corner as the NFL season kicks off coming up here later on today. Fantasy football, I got to get you my picks, too. I'm thinking I'm rolling with Washington. I think I'm going to just tell you right. I'm going to roll with Washington over the Giants. Jaden Daniels and company. How about that? But Justin Kinner, Keith Byers again, recapping college football Saturday. We talked about Ohio State a little bit ago. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, just get Keith's reactions. Again, College Football Hall of Famer, we'll get his reactions to everything that went down yesterday in college football, of course. But that's where we're at. So last thing, closing thoughts on the Ohio State situation here. Yesterday, Ohio State 70-0 the final over Grambling. I was talking with Keith. Obviously, we spent more time talking about the band and everything else that went into that matchup, the game itself, whatever. My main takeaway from that game yesterday is the reason I brought that up about, how mentally it is easy to get up for a Texas game. It's easy to get up for the rivalry game of Michigan and Tennessee and SEC school. It easy, right? Like you wake up motivated. Sometimes you can wake up yesterday and maybe not feel you won't feel the juice as much. The fact that they did come out and there wasn't a letdown. We see letdowns every week, especially coming off an emotional game the week before. We see letdowns all the time. My big takeaway, Ryan Day has that team just locked in. And those kids, not that they need someone to tell them to be locked in, but that's just the quality of guys they have in that locker room. Yeah, it was Grambling, but they didn't care. They went out there and they made them look like Grambling, and that's what you're supposed to do. Some teams don't. West Virginia lost to Ohio yesterday. There are programs who play down to the level of their competition. Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, defending national champions, battle-tested. We didn't see that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I know you didn't mean it the way you said it. We made them look like Grambling. We made them look like they're in their weight class.
Yeah.
That's just like, asking a welterweight to jump up to the heavyweight division. That's not fair to ask a welterweight to fight, a heavyweight. So what Grambling did, they're fine in their weight class.
Yeah.
They're elite in their weight class. So they were, out of their weight class against us. So the things that we was evaluating the Buckeyes on is how we play. We need to, stay at our high level, no matter who the opponent is. And if we do that, if we play the way that we're supposed to play football, we're going to be fine. And, we played Buckeye football yesterday, and that's no disrespect, to Grambling. Grambling was just overmatched. And I know they're going to be fine. Only thing I don't like about some of these matchups is that you're asking Grambling to come up here, play, out of their weight class, and they have a game next week. And when, I saw some injuries at the Grambling sideline, and that's going to affect them not just this week, but the next 2 to 3 weeks, all for a check. Which, we compensated them not as much as I would have liked us to. We only gave them $1 million. I wish we could at least gave them at least 2.5, to put up with what they had to put up with. But it's still a great experience, for the Grambling football players and for the program and, for the band. I mean, we talked about it off air, how the band was, not like a battle with the bands, but after the game, they should have promoted that more.
Yeah.
Both bands were still on the field, playing a good 30 minutes, after the game. And that, that was just an experience that they do that every week, in HBCU, programs. And that's part of the culture. And, it's part of the love affair. So it was good to see them, bring that to Columbus at Ohio Stadium.
So it's funny, we just live in our sports prism and we just accept that, yeah, big schools pay small schools to come in, get beat up on for a little bit, and on you go. my wife, who doesn't follow sports that much, she just thought that was the stupidest thing in the world that sports do that. Like, why? So you paid them $1 million just to come in. Why don't you just play a good team and save yourself money? And I'm like, Nora, don't be bringing common sense to sports conversation.
That's what Keith Byers played.
Yeah. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
But in today's day and age of NIL, it was like, you saw how outmatched Grambling was yesterday from a physical standpoint. Those guys are the ones going out there just getting absolutely you talk about the $1 million. When we say, oh, well, they went out there for $1 million. Well, the problem is they didn't. They being the players. I have a problem with that. Watching that yesterday, some of those kids, I mean, there was a couple injuries where you had teammates. We couldn't see from where we're at what happened, but they're kneeling down, and that looks severe. It's like those guys are being thrown to the wolves literally just for the school to get $1 million, and you could say, well, they benefit from it as the student athlete. No, not in today's day and age. They should get some kickback.
Oh, they get a couple of extra Gatorade machine in the facility.
Extra pair of shoes, cleats by the end of the season. I don't know, but it is funny when you talk to a non-sports fan, they just kind of flip a switch for you sometimes. You start thinking about things different. I'm like, you're right. We talk about all these schools don't have money. Imagine if you stop paying schools to come in and just play competitive schedule every single week, as opposed to one good non-con opponent, a season. But I thought it was interesting.
And I guess one of the reasons why they do it, I don't know, is like when Tressel left Ohio State to go to Youngstown State when he was a head coach, and then he leaves Youngstown State to come back to Ohio State. Tressel knew that, the thing Ohio State this year has in the budget, like $3.3 million, $3.4 million, whatever that number is, for their road teams.
Yep.
For the non-conference schedule. So Texas gets the same amount of money as Grambling and Ohio University. Texas is not going to miss that $1 million, but they're going to.
Wait, so you do pay
Texas does get paid too.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Only
know
your Big
that.
Ten teams, because it's revenue sharing in the Big Ten.
In basketball, is that the same as well?
And probably among the bigs, it does.
Okay, so I'm learning that. I didn't realize.
So that's all the Ohio State had in the budget for their non-conference teams.
That's crazy to me. Texas, you need to play Ohio State. You need to play Texas.
So when Ohio State goes to Texas next year, Texas is they're gonna give
washes out.
That'll feed the team on Friday night and take care of the hotel and put a half a tank of gas in the plane. Whereas Grambling, they had to fly up here from Louisiana. For people who don't know, Grambling's in Louisiana, by the way. Whereas Grambling's flying from Louisiana and bringing a band, that's extra hotel rooms, that's extra meals. Whereas Ohio University, they don't have to fly. They can just get some buses, so they're going to net more money than Grambling did at the end of the day.
So you're not coming up with $1 million. It's the surplus of what's left after you.
Correct the mundo.
Yeah, see, that's
not like they're going to take care of the budget and throw you $1 million. They're going to come feed you, house all your personnel, and all that. No. So it's less than that.
But it took her.
That's an economic question for another day.
Yeah, she asked that. I was like, well, you have to have some easier opponents just to kind of ease up into the. Well, the NFL, they don't do that. I'm like, yeah, they do. It's when they play.
Well, it's only 32 NFL teams.
Only 32.
It's 134 Division I programs, not including the FBS or FCS, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So it's a lot of college football programs. So it's hard to compare college to pro.
But nonetheless, Justin Kenner, Keith Byers, we are live here in Centerville at the Frickers. We're at Frickers in Centerville. We'll comb through the final. We'll go through the scoreboard right here for yesterday's college football. Saturday, of course, and then we will switch over to the NFL. Browns-Bengals kicking off at 1. The Bengals, Joe Burrow. We'll talk about his Week 1 openers and his struggles in Week 1 compared to the way he plays in Week 2 through 16 or 17. We'll get to that around the corner. Keith, Ohio State 70-0 shutout win yesterday over Grambling wasn't the only big blowout. How about number 6 Oregon taking care of business at home against Oklahoma State?
Yeah, 14 points in 3 plays.
69-3. I can't believe they gave up 3 points. 69-3. They blow out Oklahoma State yesterday. Number 6 Oregon.
Yes, I mean, Oregon, with that big win, I moved them up in my ranking also.
I mean, that's convincing.
That is convincing. It's not against, somebody out of their weight class. That's from a power, that's a Power 4 conference. Somebody, what is it, Big 12? No, it's not. Big 12. Yeah, Big 12 conference, Oklahoma State. Gundy, what's he going to say now? I'm a man.
Yeah.
I took all this whooping.
This started, too. They ran up the score on them they were motivated to. So Gundy had made a comment earlier in the week about, we're not fortunate to be able to pay for our success. A shot at Oregon because of the Nike money,
Right.
because of Phil Knight. So that this played a role in this score.
Oh, no
69-3. Like like at a certain point you're like, all right, we're gonna call that dog stop. We don't need anyone hurt. We're not trying to hurt them. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. They kept their foot on the gas that entire game to make a point that how's this?
And they have oil money in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't feel sorry for these teams, man. Like, get better boosters, get better donors, figure it out, shake more cans on the side of the road, beg for change, do what you got to do. I mean, it is what it is. But 69-3, or
nice.
Yeah, literally. I don't know if you meant to do the nice. Did you mean to do the nice
I did.
joke? Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Making sure.
I did.
Continue down the list.
I'm pro Big Ten.
The Battle of Iowa. Speaking of the Big Ten, unfortunately, Big Ten Iowa goes down by 3. They lose on the road at Iowa State, 16-13. Iowa State, number 16 in the country. They come away with a close one, 16-13 over Iowa.
I'm upset. I'm pausing because I'm upset with Iowa. And, Kirk Ferentz is going to try to break Woody Hayes' record for the most Big Ten wins of all time. And, he just has longevity, not longevity of greatness. And I'm put up with Iowa. I've been giving them too much credit for too long. I mean, they used to play good defense. And their offense, Kirk Ferentz doesn't care about offense. I mean, that quarterback couldn't hit the broadside of a bull with a base spinner. I mean, and that's not how Iowa football has been, in the past. They've had some really good quarterbacks come through there, but now, oh my gosh, he just like phoning it in. He must retire and let somebody else come in there and take that job, because Kirk Ferentz is just on automatic pilot. He's a tough one yesterday, but we didn't play well enough. We got to score more points. 13.
You've been saying that for years.
I mean, come on, man. He had to fire. You finally had to let your son go. He was offensive coordinator for years, and everybody like, man, can y'all average 24? Can you blow out anybody? Not Iowa. No. So, that was a letdown for the Big Ten yesterday. That loss that Iowa had. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from Iowa State. I know it's a rivalry game. They play it every year, but you got to represent better than that, and that's just not acceptable.
The Cincinnati Bearcats, they had Bowling Green in town. Cincinnati, Bowling Green. Cincinnati wins 34-20 over Bowling Green. The MAC, they've been competitive in a lot of these games to start. Obviously, we talked about Ohio beating West Virginia earlier. Thought that was interesting.
I was wishing Eddie George could have got that one. But look, they were competitive, though. They were into that game, and, the MAC is going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I mean, they got some fine teams. Eddie George. And he's only 2 games in his tenure, but he's already changing the culture. And I'm looking forward to seeing them continue to, have some success. Cincinnati, second best program in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, right now, of course, Cincinnati loses in week 1 against Nebraska. They take care of business in week 2 against Bowling Green. How about Colorado, the Fighting Deion Sanders, 31-7? They get the win over Delaware. So
he had to go to his third-string quarterback. So, Shador is no longer there. But, they have a mini quarterback country out there in Colorado, which is not all bad. I mean, you want the best to play. And Deion is not playing favorites. And so that's good for them. And it's a program, keep an eye on it. But Deion's going to have them bowl eligible by the end of the season.
Again, Deion and Colorado get the win yesterday over Delaware, week 3 of the college football season. Continuing to go down the list. Again, we're live here at Frickers in Centerville.
Oh, you didn't announce Shaw. You didn't.
The
Shaw.
The Shaw. What up, Shaw?
Shaw, what is he, the number 1 Michigan fan in the Southwest Ohio?
Yeah.
And
See
he
you, Ryan. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
And even though Michigan took a loss last night, he's still representing with his M's. He got one on his head, one on his chest. So he's a fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All fans here right now, nonetheless. But continue to go down the college football scoreboard. Just a couple scores that caught people's attention yesterday, of course. Continuing on this.
Florida lost. SEC. It just means
how about
more.
that?
I guess South Florida said it means more to us.
I mean, my goodness. So that one real quick. Where was that one? I'm trying to. Either way, we'll get to. Florida loses 18-16.
Oh my gosh!
Florida.
And you see the spitting?
More
Spitting. In the last drive,
You
a
see the
defensive
example.
lineman
You see the
from
example that
Florida spit on somebody.
you're a former Eagle. You see the example that your Philadelphia Eagles are setting for the youth, for the future of America. They see it on
Oh, my
TV. They're
God.
like, well, Keith Byers' Eagles could do it. Why can't we do
Where's
it?
Tom Hanks when I need him?
Yeah.
There's no room for crying. There's no room of spitting in football. You don't spit
Man.
in football. You don't spat. You don't spit. You don't whatever. And yes, but who started it? That doggone cry boy. Dak Prescott, he started. He spit first. Now, let's not forget his name. He spit first. And my boy from the Eagles, retaliatory spit. Not acceptable. So he was the second spitter, and we had a third spitter in Florida last night. They say things runs in threes, so hopefully it ends in threes too. I don't want to see that no more. There's no room for it in football. I can't stand it. So no. And that's what led to Florida's defeat.
Yesterday. Oh, man. But, yeah, Florida goes down nonetheless. Florida State, after, of course, beating Alabama last week, they take care of business against East Texas A&M. Another blowout, 77-3, the final there. We've talked about the weight class.
Is Florida
matchups.
State back?
I think so. Kev's a Florida State fan. He says it best. He goes, the only thing we've learned about not Mike Norvell, you can get anything with him. You can get the worst of the world. Like that locker room, they buy in quick with him, but he could also lose the locker room pretty dang quick as well. But Florida State remains undefeated, 77-3, the final there. We talked about the Iowa State-Iowa final. Texas A&M, 44-22, the final over Utah State. Ole Miss goes on the road to take care of Kentucky, 30-23. How about an SEC matchup so early on?
Oh my, yeah. I mean, Kentucky's won the last 4 years of that matchup, and they had a chance yesterday, to pull it out, but they lost at home, to Ole Miss, and I'm not going to. Ole Miss hasn't won the SEC since they've had integration, so I'm not going to. Until Ole Miss wins something, I'm not going to, crown them. Ole Miss was always going to win the conference post integration. But I mean, they have won the SEC since when? Right, the 40s or the 50s.
Nonetheless, continue to go down as we wrap it up before we transition over to the NFL. Another blowout. East Tennessee State loses 72-17 against number 22 Tennessee. Indiana, the Fighting Kurt Signettis, they continue their non-conference slate with a 56-9 win over Kennesaw State.
Did you hear what Kurt Signetti said after the game?
No, it's
he's
a walking soundbite.
He said, "Oh, I'll be better once I get in my office and have a beer." Oh, so you're drinking on the job, huh? Really? You're drinking on you? That's the time to have a beer?
I mean,
I know how he meant it, but he should have said, when I get home tonight, have a beer. He said, when I get to my office. So you got beer in the office?
And you have such a stressful day at the office that you, after beating Kennesaw State, that you need a cold one.
You need a cold.
Kennesaw State, man, my goodness.
Okay.
Man.
That's
Nonetheless.
okay to drink on the job. Oh.
Clemson holds on. They come away 27-16, the final over
Just losing to Troy.
Yeah.
I think I had Clemson overrated.
I think that they've.
I had them overrated. That's why I hate preseason. I think I had them top 10 in preseason, and they lose to, what I had them 5? You had them 6. And they were losing by, 2 touchdowns at halftime to Troy? Right, they won't be. Well, they're not in my top 16 anymore.
Yeah. And your top 16 comes out tomorrow, correct? Or later?
It comes out today.
It comes out today. Nonetheless, Miami, 45-3, the final over Bethune-Cookman.
Miami, yep. They played the Grambling, of the South. Grambling. I mean, so Miami did what they're supposed to do against Bethune-Cookman. So
what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So Texas, after going down against the Buckeyes in week 1, a chance to see Arch Manning for the second time going up against San Jose State. They beat San Jose State 38-7. Arch Manning.
He threw an early interception.
Yeah, but he completed 19 of his 30 pass attempts, 295 yards, and 4 touchdowns in his second game of the season.
Yeah, did you see that little quick cutaway of him on the sideline after the touchdown pass? He got let out a big, exhale that, I'm fired up. And that's what I need. That's what we, okay.
Finally. Yeah.
I mean, he's probably, would he be the most scrutinized or the most watched player in college football?
Yeah, and it's not his. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think
it swings both ways, and Woody Hayes should say, watch all the people patting you in the back. They're looking for the soft spot to stick the knife.
Yeah. But and a lot of the pressure that's put on him, it's not self-inflicted. He doesn't talk. He doesn't say anything. And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, like, a lot of it is there's not like he's not putting quotes out there that you could take and put as bulletin board material. A lot of it is his granddad talking for him. It's the Manning family talking for him. It's the media that he has a horrendous performance against Ohio State. I mean, I'm watching that game and I'm listening to the broadcasters. When he would have a horrible throw, they'd say, obviously just a little high. He's still getting acclimated, but just look at the way the ball comes off his finger. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? I think it's those things. Like, I don't really have an opinion of Arch Manning. I don't even know anything about him personally, but just the way that he's covered.
I was at the game last
drives
week.
Me nuts.
When he threw that touchdown pass to make it 14-7, I had an alert come across my phone. Manning coming up in the clutch now. It's fourth quarter. I'm like, he's being clutch in the fourth quarter. The first 3 quarters didn't count.
Yeah. See, because all I see is it took him
one
3.5 quarters
to
get. Yeah.
Nice clutch. I'm like, wow. Y'all are.
Took him 3.5 quarters to get going. But no, I don't like if he's good, it's good for college football. It's good for Texas. It's good for I don't want him to fail. Hell, especially if Cleveland is bad and they need a quarterback and he's available. I'm not anti-Arch Manning. The coverage of him drives me up the wall. Jason Fitz came on with us this week, and to clarify, he got a lot of heat on our show 2 weeks ago because he said he's the most overhyped quarterback in the NFL. And I said, to clarify, overrated and overhyped are two different things. We don't know if he's overrated or underrated yet. Bottom line is he's overhyped. Overhyped is fair, and I think that's a fair assessment.
I think so. I agree with that.
So 2 more here. Penn State, 34-0 over Florida International. Penn State's they're the number 2 team in the country, and no one's talking about them because they haven't played anyone of substance yet. They're quiet, but they're doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, when I lived in South Florida, we used to FIU, FIA, FIU, FIU. So FAU, FIU people always like beakers. So Florida International University, not Florida Atlantic.
Did I say Florida Atlantic? Oh.
You said Florida. You said Florida International.
Oh.
You said it right. FIU. We always say FIU. That's a little thing.
Well.
But it's way down in Miami. But they have some good athletes on the team, but there's no way. I mean, again, behind there's Arch Manning in one category, and behind him is Nussmeier at LSU and Drew Allard at Penn State, that they are just drooling over. And I'm like, Drew Allard is still Drew Allard. I mean, the score was 20-0 early in the fourth quarter, and then they blew. Then they add some late touchdowns to make it look like it was more. It was 14-0 in the third. Yeah, well, we got to clean up the things on offense. Come on now, no. So they're not playing anybody. So Penn State hasn't been tested yet, but
we talked about Oregon. We did the Open. Now, especially because we see a lot of those blowouts that happen, but you're playing the Bethune-Cookmans, you're playing Florida Internationals. They did it, and again, Oklahoma State's but it's a Power 4. You're going up against guys that have same resources as you, or maybe they don't, according to Gundy. That's what led to that feud, if you will. I'm a man up for it. But yeah, Oregon, they're undefeated last year, undefeated Big Ten champions from last year. No one's talking about them. And they may be fine with that, nonetheless. But all right, the last one from last night. It was the game, the game of the week, or the main event. That's what you want to call it. Shaw's Michigan Wolverines. They're 1-1, 24-13 the final over Oklahoma. Keith, got a chance to see Bryce Underwood look good with some throws and look like a true freshman with some others. But it was a good one last night. Good non-conference matchup. Like the showdown, but Michigan only 13 up on the board.
No, I mean, the freshman quarterback, on the road, first start, but what I have seen, out of Bryce Underwood, I like, what I haven't seen, it's only 2 games. I haven't seen, his receivers, help him out a lot either. But you start a freshman quarterback, you have to live with the pains, the ups and the downs. And I think right now he's going to have some, a lot more. I think over the course of 12 games, he's going to have more ups than downs. So he's not going to be the quarterback that we saw last night face Ohio State. And what I see, in him, I see a lot. I've seen a lot of, as far as I haven't seen every freshman quarterback in the country yet, but I can see why they have him where they have him. I see a lot of, growth potential. Now, if he was at Ohio State and he started Ohio State the last 2 games, oh my gosh, if he was throwing to Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and all those weapons that we have, they can cover up a lot of his mistakes. So Michigan receivers aren't on that level today, or even tomorrow. But, I think, he has some leadership. I've seen him get into a little wordplay with the running back, Justice Haynes, last night. I'm like, man, you're just a freshman. And so I don't know what was said, but I saw a little, and they went shook hands and, worked it out. But I'm like, woo, I can't imagine a freshman quarterback, and I'm a, sophomore, junior in college, and he's going to say something to me. But hey, that's part of leadership. Sometimes you're going to say some more popular things, to be a leader. So with Bryce Underwood, after 2 games, I see why I ain't gonna say I like what I seen. I don't like him. He's in Michigan. But no, that aside, I can see, some of the hype, and people, always go back to the NIL deal. You see all that money he got. Well, it's so much money that's what was reported. But it's a whole lot of NIL money that's not reported. And that's fine too. Like, I don't know if you know the quarterback for Duke. He's a transfer from Tulane.
Yep.
You know how much money he's getting? He got a 2-year deal, $7 million. Just 3.5. And I say, it's okay. Illinois whipped them yesterday.
Yeah, 3.5. That GPA can't get you into Duke.
Yeah, so like, wow. And I'm okay with it. I love it. So don't these people, as fans, people have to be educated and be able to accept that. When high school kids get $1 million or $2 million out of high school to be a pitcher because he throws the ball 95 miles per hour, nobody says anything about that. So it's the new era of being able to understand why more and more guys are getting NIL. We just now, and we're way behind just now getting it in football and basketball. But baseball's had it for years.
Yep.
Other sport, tennis has had it for years. So, we just call it NIL. So now these teenagers being able to make millions of dollars, I'm all for it. I wish I was a teenager.
Yeah. my favorite thing about NIL too is Michigan gets them. Well, you only have them because of NIL. But if someone would have outbid them to get them, Michigan can't even, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
But in the whole SEC,
it's annoying.
NIL stands for now it's legal. Because they was illegal for years in the South doing that.
Did you see the Nick Saban quote? Nick Saban quote. Well, we'll get to that, but the time is flying. So Justin Kendall, Keith Byers, we are live here in Centerville at Frickers. Every Sunday, we are going to be at a different Frickers location. We've always been at the same Miamisburg location for years. We're going to be hopping around.
You got to share us.
Yeah. So, but
share the love.
We will try to be outside on the patios of every one of these locations as much as we can.
Now, if it was raining today, we wouldn't be on this patio.
Yeah, not on this one. The Miamisburg one.
Have an umbrella.
But no, it's a beautiful day out in week 1 of the NFL season. So Justin Kenner, Keith Byers went a little long there. We'll step away for a few. Browns Bengals kicking off at 1. We'll take a quick preview and look at all the top matchups around week 1 of the National Football League, including recapping a couple of the games that have already happened. So we'll get to that when we come back. Justin Kenner, Keith Byers, again, live here at Frickers in Centerville. The Sunday morning tailgate show live here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
$1,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Summer's wrapping up, and life is picking back up. Early mornings, long days, and a to-do list that doesn't quit. And neither should you. Who has time to slow down due to body pain? That's why there's Aleve to keep you going. With just one pill, Aleve delivers longer-lasting body pain relief per dose compared to other leading OTC branded pain relievers. Aleve helps keep you moving from sunup to sundown with up to 12 hours of pain relief per dose, so you can keep moving and be ready for whatever's next. Use as directed.
Save big money on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Menards has a huge selection of concrete and mortar mixes. Our concrete products are great for a variety of applications, including pouring a walkway, setting a post, or even installing stone veneer. View our entire selection of concrete mixes and supplies in-store and on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byers. We are live here in Centerville at Frickers. We're going to be at a different Frickers location each and every Sunday. We're in Centerville today. We'll be at the Miller Lane Frickers location next Sunday, and then in Miamisburg in week 3. So that's the schedule coming up. But yeah, we recap college football Saturday. We're going to post the score prediction. So Steve had a heated preview for the Browns-Bengals matchup. If you missed that, don't worry.
Is it safe to say Roe is the number one Bengals fan in the greater Dayton area?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's safe to say.
I think so.
Prove us wrong, folks, if you think we're wrong.
But... Oh, hold up.
That's Steve from Springboro.
I see it. He's on me because my truck's dirty.
He got me too. Mine's dirty too. So I'm going to the car wash, Steve, today.
Oh man,
get my car. It's a little dirty.
No, but I think any sponsors are going to stay away at this point. But, nonetheless. But NFL Week 1 officially here, Keith. And obviously, high school football kicked off a few weeks ago, and then college last week.
3-2-1. So week 3 of college football, week 3 of high school football. Week 2 of college football is in the can. And now we got week 1 of NFL football starting today. And, I think back to a year ago on this day, the Eagles had played in Brazil last year for their first game of the season against Green Bay, and they won. And it was like, man, could I say we win the Super Bowl? We won our first game of the season. Everybody thinks that, but, I was correct. But that was the first step of a long journey to the Super Bowl. Today, somebody else is going to take that step, week 1. One of these teams that started, the 32 teams started 0-0. At the end of the day, end of tomorrow night, somebody's going to have 1-1 or 0-1. Somebody may get a tie. I doubt it, but maybe. And who's going to impress me? Choose a Super Bowl champion right now. And somebody's going to play well today, and that team, they look Super Bowl ready. But us, we are on a long journey. We've had all fans on the patio today. We've had Browns.
Yeah.
We've had Bengals. We've had Raiders. We've had Lions.
Michigan.
We've had Michigan.
Oh, man. But, yeah.
Did I miss the NFL team? Oh, Rose, he's got his Green Bay. He drove his wife's Green Bay car. So
you broke the rules. You read read the fine print? You can't be repping other teams in any of your vehicles.
Hey, my wife is a bingo fan, but you don't see no bingo stuff on my car.
Yeah.
I'm an Eagles. My Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
You can make it happen. Huh?
Man. But
the Eagles this is the last time I can say the Eagles are Super Bowl champs because now the season started. Now, we're still Super Bowl champs from last year. It's a new journey, and everybody's mathematically eligible for the playoffs right now. Your team has got a chance. And now you want us a chance when you get a playoffs, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Again, Justin Kidder, Keith Byers live here at Frickers in Centerville. Let me ask you, high school, when you're preparing for a high school football season, the 2-a-days and everything that goes into that, camp for college football, your time with Ohio State or an NFL training camp, which preseason is your favorite? Which preseason is your least favorite? Again, it's such a long journey. I'm sure, what is it like waking up on this Sunday morning, week 1 of the NFL season, thinking your time in the NFL when you were preparing for NFL's, I'm sure, camp. What's the breaking point of camp at? How far into camp before you're like, just get me to Sunday, get me to week 1? And what is that feeling like for these players waking up today?
NFL season for me, after second week of training camp.
Just burnout.
Oh, God. When is the season? Because we've had all these 2-a-days.
Yeah.
They don't have as many 2-a-days today that they did when I played. So now, I shouldn't use the word hate. That's such a strong word. I don't like NFL the month of September. Because it's such bad football.
Yeah. A lot of penalties.
If you can get bad football, missed tackles, teams, even the Thursday night game, my Eagles beat up on your Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb had, 3 drops, 2 of them on the last drive of the game. And that's because he's not in shape. He was tired. Those are fatigue mistakes. He hadn't played 60 minutes, in a game, since last year. So does he drop those passes in 2 to 3 weeks from now? Heck no. He's going to be in football shape. He's not in football shape because we're so worried about injuries and, can we? But now he's got to run those routes back, those deep routes. That was just fatigue. Not just, let's see, can you believe CeeDee Lamb dropped those balls? Yes, because it's hard to beat your opponent in fatigue.
Yeah.
So fatigue had played a role in into those drops. People that don't know football they don't talk about it. But he was tired, and he won't admit it. He's not allowed to be tired because we're paying you all that money. But he's not prepared, and that's been the Bengals' problem. Certainly under the Zach Taylor era of getting started early, in the season. So today is the beginning of a new year for the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year they missed the playoffs by 1 game, and everybody went back and man, we let New England beat us. That's first game. All of them count, including today.
Yeah, I hate when people say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I'm like, that's not true. The Bengals have finished as one of the best teams in the NFL the last 2 years, but they don't even get to compete for a championship because they weren't one of the best teams in the NFL to start. So I have a lot of Bengals fans a lot of friends who are Bengals fans that say, yeah, whatever. I don't care how they start, it's how they finish. No, the Bengals are proof of how you cannot say it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, look at last year. Kansas City Chiefs got every break you could get during the regular season.
Yep.
Friday night, here we go. Oh, Kansas City going to pull this one out again? They didn't. They lost. And last year, they would have won that game. Down 10 with less than 2 minutes to go. Stranger things would have happened. And this year, it seemed like it was following that same old Kansas City script, but not this time. The Chargers like, no, we got more plays. Get Pat Mahomes one more time. One more shot. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And so they lost. They started off 0-1 instead of 1-0.
Let me ask you, from a preseason standpoint, so Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals this year, for the first time in the Joe Burrow era, they played starters 2 of the 3 games. The starters got a lot more reps. We saw Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. In fact, Zach Taylor played Joe Burrow so much in preseason. There's a couple times where First Take and other shows opened up criticizing Zach Taylor because Joe Burrow was getting hit in the 3rd possession of the preseason game. And a lot of that is But let me ask you, when you played a lot in the preseason. If you wouldn't have played in the preseason, would you have felt as, not prepared, that's a weird word, but would you have felt as, I guess, in rhythm, if you will? How much of an impact does playing in the preseason have, or does it? Because you're playing so minimal snaps as it is it truly making an impact in how you approach a week like
it does. I can answer that from the standpoint. My first 2 years in the NFL, I had no preseason games.
Okay.
I went straight to the regular season.
By choice, or was it injury?
Injury.
Okay.
Injury. So I didn't play. I didn't get cleared my rookie year. I didn't get cleared for full contact till the week of the first game.
Okay.
And I started the first game of the season with no NFL reps at all. Then the second year I got hurt in minicamp. So I'm rehabbing all summer, missed all of training camp. And then, I played the first 2 games of the season, and then we went on strike. And we was on strike for a month. That helped me. That was the only good thing about the strike. I had more time to get healthy. But, transitioning from college to the NFL, the speed of the game for rookies is way faster in the NFL than college. It's so much better. So it's a lot to overcome. So when I get to my 3rd year in the NFL, after having, 32, 2 complete seasons under my belt, now I got a full off season train without rehab. Went through all the training camp. And then, boom, my career took off year 3, statistically and everything else, because, number 1, I'm healthy. And number 2, I was able to go through all preseason and, training camp to prepare for the regular season. And, just much better prepared for it all. And by the end of my career, yes, I didn't need as much training camp. But, like my last 2-3 years in the league, I'm a vet. I played 13 years. So by year 9, 10, I know how to get myself ready. I knew how to get myself ready prior to, but I don't need all that.
Yeah.
All that hitting, the constant boom, 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 but still needed some. I didn't say all, I needed some to prepare for the long grind of a NFL season.
So with that being said, the Bengals playing this, the Bengals have had, 1 and 3 starts the last 2 years. They approach preseason different. Now, for one, Zach Taylor, to his defense, said, we've always wanted to play start. Everyone was ripping Zach Taylor for not playing starters in preseason. He said, when Joe Burrow has been recovering from an injury or not available in the preseason, he goes, if he's not out there, we're not throwing our starter. We want everyone to be out there in unison,
That's
whatever.
Crap.
But, okay, so start there. But 2, with them playing their starters going on now, how much of a difference will that make for the Bengals? Do you believe they get off to a much hotter start because of that?
Well, hotter, I know what I say a better start. And that doesn't always
Do you
mean
think that's
result.
why they've started out slow the last couple of years?
Oh, no question.
Okay.
That's directly for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm good. Thank you.
That's directly because of that. Because when you do play in the preseason games, our number one question to the coach, how long am I playing today? And then sometimes they tell you a quarter, or sometimes they give you a snap count. I want to see at least 20 snaps out of you. Oh, that means let's get 2 8-9 play drives, and then we'll be out of here. Let's not have we have too many 3 and outs. You're gonna be playing longer. So you determine that. So sometimes coach say, man, y'all got the first half. Okay, cool. I know we got, you know, we don't want to play crappy in the first half. You're going to come at halftime and say, y'all going to play again in the third quarter. I need to see some, you know, some timing, because now also in preseason, we play in the preseason game for timing. You know, but we also have a vanilla offense. We don't want to show all the stuff we've been working on in practice.
Yep.
In a preseason game, we're going to show some. So they come with some of these exotic blitzes. You know, they just doing that, you know, for the teams studying them for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Hey, they did this in preseason camp, so we got to watch film of guys that not even going to make the team. So when we're watching films of different defenses, we're like, man, that guy ain't going to play. You know, the coach is throwing out, just put that on film to make us spend more time studying something. You know, but as you get closer to the regular season, you know, you want to time up your good stuff, and, you know, we may bring a play or 2 or 3 that we know we're going to, you know, other than your bread and butter plays, your off-tackle plays, you're going to run those. But your exotic stuff, you know, your trickery and, you know, putting 3 wides or bunch formation, different formations, sometimes you save that for the regular season. And certain teams save some of their blitz packages for the regular season. They don't want to they just want to be vanilla on defense also. You know, it's playing strictly cover 2 or, you know, a little bit of man. And now all of a sudden they got all these exotic blitzes that you didn't see in preseason. Like, ooh, you got to be ready. Yeah. You go back and look at last year's film, different D coordinators and what they like to do, and, you know, you adjust accordingly. So that's the mouse play, you know, the give and take of it.
All right, Justin Kenner, Keith Byers live here at Frickers in Centerville. We're at a different Frickers location every Sunday throughout this NFL season, all the way up through Super Bowl Sunday, of course. But we'll be at the Miller Lane location next week, but here in Centerville this afternoon. All right, we'll step away for a few moments, and we'll give our final thoughts on the Browns-Bengals matchup coming up at 1 o'clock, and then we'll do a quick rundown of some of the top NFL Week 1 matchups. When we come back, Justin Kenner, Keith Byers, Frickers in Centerville. We'll be right back.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-894-3737. 800-894-3737. That's 800-894-3737.
Now that Labor Day's over, it's time to switch out summer outfits for new fall looks and head into the season in style. Shop Macy's today for the latest fall trends from top brands like ruffled skirts and barrel leg bottoms, 25% off, and men's suits for every occasion from Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, and more, 50 to 75% off. Plus, find signature scents from Yves Saint Laurent, Valentino, and so many others. So hurry in now and refresh your fall wardrobe at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, College Football Hall of Famer, Keith Byers with you here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. We're live in Centerville. We are at Frickers. We are at the Frickers location here in Centerville, of course. Next week, we're going to be at the Frickers location over at Miller Lane. Let me try to get this. Why is that? There we go. Now we're live back on camera. How about that? No, people, shout out to Dayton Weight Loss Secret, by the way. That's how I've lost my weight. By the way, we had our guys out here asking about it, but Dr. Justin and Dayton Weight Loss Secret, appreciate them. But as we look to wrap things up here today,
His
Keith,
name is Dr. Justin?
Dr. Justin.
As in Justin Kinner or just Dr.
No, I went to school for 8 years, but I promise you.
I walked by the medical school. I never went in. Does that count?
No, my family was so disappointed in me because they're like, you've been in college for a minute, like 8 years, but you're not a doctor. I'm like, no, I am not.
Just professional student.
Yeah, professional student is right. But Dr. Justin, Dayton Weight Loss Secret. Shout out to him, of course, but nonetheless. Start on July 1st, down 28 pounds here. But good seeing you. Take care. Thank you for coming. But nonetheless. All right, Browns-Bengals coming up, 1 o'clock, the kickoff for that one. First of all, your pick on this. We'll just get to our picks right away. I have Cleveland winning this one. I've been getting heat all week on it. I've said before, when you look at Cincinnati, their deficiencies, their weakness, that defense is not good. That offensive line is not good. The strengths that the Browns do have, and they do have deficiencies, yes, they have a very good secondary, and they have a great pass rush. So that pass rush against their offensive line, that's a matchup nightmare for the Cincinnati Bengals. The secondary is very, very good for the Cleveland Browns. And then I said the number one weapon that the Browns have to beat the Bengals is they have the Bengals defense. So that's the number one weapon to beat the Bengals right there. Are the Browns better than the Bengals? No, they shouldn't be. They don't have the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and all that. But from a matchup perspective, it would not surprise me to see Cleveland come away with the win in week 1 at home.
Stranger things have happened in week 1. And I'm doing record. I hope this is I want to see AFC Championship game in Ohio.